make the presentation. Our next induction is in the team category. The Thompson High School Boys Curling Team 1957-1958. The Thompson High School Boys Curling Team from North Sydney did something in the late 50s that very few teams accomplished, and that was to win back-to-back provincial headmaster schoolboy curling titles. The 1957 Thompson rink was made up of skip Alan Kennedy, mate Paul Rice, second George Rowe, and lead Bill Uden. In 1958, Rice had graduated and Les Hare joined the winning team. They were coached by George Chapman, and faculty advisors included Sammy Way in 1957 and Alex Gilchrist in 1958. The community support was evident in 1957 when the North Sydney rink defeated Queen Elizabeth High School of Halifax 8-6 in Truro for the provincial crown and qualified for the national championship in Winnipeg. Local resident Archie Johnson started up the Northside Schoolboy Curlers Fund, and local residents raised $1,040 to help send the team out west. In 1957, the Northside foursome finished their first national tourney with a record of 4-6. And then in 1958, the North Sydney boys beat Lunenburg 11-6 in Yarmouth to win the Nova Scotia Championship, and then the Thompson squad went on to finish third at the National Championship in Charlottetown with a record of 6-4. Ladies and gentlemen, the 1957-1958 Thompson High curling teams.
Thank you very much for that. I'd just like to say that a few members have to send regrets. We have Paul Rice, who played on the 1958 team, living in Oakville, and he had previous commitments. And our student rep, or I should say our teacher rep, Sammy Way, one of the local boys, had an engagement with Capital Health. He's giving a speech right about now, so he couldn't be here. But we're very happy to have Les Hare, who traveled from Toronto. We have Clyde over here, and Ellie Gilchrist up here, who was a teacher representative. Clyde's representing our coach, George Chapman. Of course, we have George Rowe and Bill Uden. George is living in Bedford. First, let me congratulate the other inductees, Naish, Lauren, John, the 82 Cape Breton Colonels, Jim, and to Eric, the recipient of the Alan Joseph Memorial Award. Congratulations. And to all of those who will receive awards as the best team 2008, a job well done. Also, I would like to thank Ellie Gilchrist, a special thanks to Ellie Gilchrist for submitting the nomination application, and to the Cape Breton Sports Hall of Fame committee, selection committee, for this great honor. I mean, truly, it's great to be back home. I would also like to thank Paul and George, Bill and Les, for being just super teammates. And I want to recognize the support from a group of people. Certainly our parents, all of our parents, were very, very supportive of us playing sports, and we did play a lot of sports. In those days, you played a little bit of everything. Today, it's not that way. You're usually committed to one sport and you play it full time. But it wasn't that way. We had a small group at Thompson High School, so we had to muster all the troops in order to field the various teams, soccer and whatever. Certainly to our fellow Thompson High students, their support was just unbelievable during those years. the teachers, and the community. This was a community effort. Mentioned that there was the first year, there was a lot of money raised, over $1,000. That was a lot of money in those days, in order to send us to Winnipeg to participate in the Nationals. At this time, the team would like to recognize a very, very special person, a great person, our coach, George Chapman. He spent many hours with us discussing strategies and the technical aspects of curling. And he was very, very quick to point out that as individuals, we were quite different, each with specific strengths and weaknesses. And I suspect, I haven't talked to you guys about this, but I suspect that none of us really appreciated the significance of that. Because George took 4 young fellas who had been curling for 2 years. We started curling 2 years before we formed this team. And we were indeed quite different. We had different styles, we delivered the rocks differently, but the only thing that we had the same were the pan shovel brooms that we used in those days. A little bit different than the brush they use these days. So he was, as a coach, trying to get us to maximize our potential. And he took on that by dealing with the human side of the equation. He led us to recognize and accept our differences, and to develop a mutual trust and respect for each other. As a result, we were able to learn from one another. We were able to complement one another, both in our skills on the ice and off the ice. And as a team, decisions just sort of came easy because we were so focused on the desired results, because after all, we just accepted that we were different. So we were focused on the results. And lucky for us, we achieved some of those. Some of those were great. So to the guys here standing up on the stage, and to a great person, George Chapman, to the selection committee, the Sports Hall of Fame, thank you very, very much for this great honor.